Hey, it's Terraform Time. I'm Jose Antonio Reyes, Senior Innovation Engineer at PagerDuty, and also the PagerDuty main Terraform provider maintainer. Before starting with today's main topic, I would like to do some housekeeping stuff, starting with the quick reminder of the Terraform Time weekly schedule, which is being streamed at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and 1 p.m. Pacific Time at twitch.com/PagerDuty. And also, don't forget that if you want to reach out to us, you can do it to community-team@pagerduty.com or join to our forums at community.pagerduty.com. On top of that, I will also want to let you know that in January, we are going to have our next Terraform Roundtable, which is going to be very exciting, and having you there will be great. So let me, yes, highlight this. I can stress out more this call for you to be there and for us to talk about the use of Terraform and the PagerDuty provider, your use cases, and also why not some weird stuff that you maybe have noticed that you want to talk about openly and with us. Well, this is the opportunity to do it in the Terraform provider and the Terraform Roundtable, which is going to be again celebrated on January 2024. Now, without further ado, let's move to the main topic, which is testing out an OpenTofu alpha release, which has been released just today with Rundeck Terraform provider. But what is Rundeck? Well, Rundeck is a PagerDuty product, and is a product designed to be an automator where you can automate your process out related with user onboarding. Uh, this is not like the full scope of Rundeck as an automator or a way to automate process. Is very powerful. I am not really an expert on Rundeck, but I expect to be a better user of Rundeck. So I'm very excited about this product. So I want to start talking about this as soon as I can, and I hope to in the near future to bring you more examples, use cases, crossing, and doing the crossover between PagerDuty Terraform provider and Rundeck Terraform provider. This is the homepage of Rundeck. Let me share this with you. By the way, today we are streaming simultaneously on Twitch and on YouTube too. So after after the Terraform Time stream, you can go and look for the recording on YouTube and also on Twitch, just for you to know. And again, this is the Rundeck page. Just to give you a quick glance, this is like the top level schematic of how it works. This is a product high level representation, but the problems that it solves are related with restarting servers running scripts for solving issues, fetching logs, open close, just to cover the full life cycle of a ticket, infrastructure provisioning, updating user accounts, and also taking care of the user onboarding in your organization, production patching, failover assistance, and the list goes on. So today we are going to use the Rundeck Terraform provider, Rundeck Terraform provider, just this. And again, this is an PagerDuty product, but is like apart from PagerDuty. Because of that, we have two different providers, Terraform providers for them. Let me take this out and now share with you. Okay, this highlight of the Rundeck Terraform provider. This is about Rundeck, but now switching gears to OpenTofu, which is like the latest and the more the popular topic today, and it has to do with its first alpha release. This is what we are going to use now. It's possible to use these already compiled binaries for all these architectures. I'm using a Mac, so a Mac with an Apple processor. So I'm going to download the binary for Darwin ARM64. I'm going to download this. Okay, I just downloaded. Okay, I need to unblock this. This is like the official way to, right now, the official way to install it, because if you move to opentofu.org and you try to, let me check if there is no, they haven't released any blog posts explaining or talking about this of the latest release of OpenTofu, but I believe it's has to be coming. So if we switch to the CLI documentation and we look for the install step, we still have the install instructions for only for Linux and for those Linux distributions that uses apt and yum package managers. But again, we are using Mac, and this is not a blocker. We can access and start using OpenTofu, grabbing the corresponding already compiled binary that corresponds to our computer architecture. So I downloaded that file. I'm going to, no, let me move here. I'm going to, sorry for, give me a second here. I'm going to use this. I just switched to my development environment. Let me zoom in this a bit for you to read it more easy. Give me a second. Okay, I downloaded the zip file for Darwin ARM64. So I need to unzip that file, and I'm going to unzip it. That is located at downloads. It is called Tofu this, and I'm going to put it on a folder called the same name, but without the .zip. Okay, it was unzipped. I'm going to move here. And now I'm going to switch to change directory to downloads tofu. Here I am. Now I have the tofu binary. This is the binary. If I run, look, if I try to use tofu, I can't because I don't have it installed on my computer. So I can use it mainly in two ways. One of the ways will be just calling the tofu binary that I already have here on this folder and saying tofu version. Okay, this is the classic prompt of Mac doesn't don't allowing you to use downloaded packages, but I'm going to solve it here. Give me a second. This is going to be real quick. Allow anyway. Yes. And again, if I run tofu version, open anyway. Okay, it worked. Now I am able to use the OpenTofu binary, but having the OpenTofu binary or tofu binary isolated in this folder won't allow me to use tofu here, where is when I wanted to use it, because here I have the Terraform code that I want to apply using tofu. So if I enter tofu version, I won't be able to use it. So I'm going to move again to the folder where I have the binary downloaded, and I'm going to just for the sake of the demo, I'm going to just create a symbolic link to my binaries, to my Go binaries, so I'll be able to use it right away. So symbolic link of this and tofu, yeah, like this, to Go path binaries tofu. Yeah, with this I should be able to use it. Let's test it here. Which tofu. Now I have tofu installed, but I will need to source this into this terminal environment. So now I'm able to run tofu version. Now we have tofu installed. This is the process for right now. This is the process for installing tofu, which is the same that you need to follow each time you download a binary directly to your computer. But I hope OpenTofu provide like a more straightforward way to access to these binaries using something similar to Brew or what is the other? ASDF or something like that. So we will have to wait. Either way, this is the first alpha release, so it's very common to don't have the complete the full workflow ready yet. That is something expected. Now we have tofu, so let's move to Rundeck Terraform provider. This is, I already shared this with you, which was this. Okay, Rundeck Terraform provider. I'm going to use this provider, and here I already have some code to test Rundeck out. But first, I will have to help you to know how to start using Rundeck. Well, if you go through the documentation of how to get up and running with Rundeck, you will find that Rundeck have like two branches, which is the Rundeck open source project and the Rundeck, the commercial Rundeck, uh, which is also available through PagerDuty. But right now, I'm going to use the Rundeck, the open source version of Rundeck, and you can access to Rundeck to run it in your local machine. This is the latest version through this link, which is located at Package Cloud. At Package Cloud, you can grab the latest WAR file for Rundeck. And with this file, you will be able to run Rundeck in your computer. So in order to use Rundeck, you will have to download Rundeck. I'm downloading Rundeck. I already done that. I'm going to move to, I already have Rundeck running here in my computer, but this is the folder where I downloaded the Rundeck WAR file. Let me put this on top of the other. This one. I already downloaded the 4.17.0 version, this which corresponds to this one. And first, the minimum requirements for using Rundeck, or the open source version of Rundeck, is Java 11. That's like the main one. Oh, sorry. For running Rundeck locally, you will need Java 11. I already have Java 11 here, Java version. I'm running OpenJDK 11. With this, you will only have to do Java --jar and the name of the WAR file. Sorry, it is with only one hyphen. With this, you will start to see some output logs for the Rundeck agent. This is like the first log output that you will notice, but there are many others that you will have to wait until it's complete to be used. You will notice that it is complete to be used when you see a link to your local host with the port. Okay, here we go. I have it here. It is this one, localhost 4440. It's the port for accessing to Rundeck. The default credentials for Rundeck instance being run locally are admin. With this, yes, you will be able to access to the Rundeck console. And with this, you will be able to test out all the Rundeck provider capabilities, like creating a project, creating a job, creating public and private keys, and ACL policies. But in order to execute jobs inside that Rundeck instance, you will need of a license, and you can get a trial license through the Get Started button here at rundeck.com. But right now, because what we want is to use the the Rundeck Terraform provider using Tofu, it is like optional to have a license for Rundeck. So I already have Rundeck working here. So I just switch to my development environment where I have the Terraform config. This is a Terraform configuration, very basic one, by the way. Just to create a project, just going to be this, and a Rundeck job. I'm creating a project and a Rundeck job because this is like the basic functionality of Rundeck, but the core of Rundeck and the piece responsible for all the automation is or are the jobs. This is the job that we are going to set up, but a project can have many jobs. So we are going to configure this project called Terraform, my first Rundeck project, and this project will be will host this Rundeck job. So I'm planning to do this with Tofu, but before doing that, I will need an authorization token here, which is right now empty. So I'm going to create a variable called Rundeck. I'm going to call this Rundeck token, yeah, like that, of type string and sensitive to be true, yeah, like this. And I'm going to set this to be Rundeck, oh sorry, var Rundeck token. Okay, I need this variable. I already have the token here. I will ask you to please bear with me a second. And okay, I forgot to put this in uppercase. Rundeck var. Oh, let me no. Rundeck var. Okay, uppercase. And let me check if this has Tofu. We have Tofu here. Version. Okay. Here we go. We have now OpenTofu. So I'll go ahead and plan this this Rundeck configuration, this Terraform configuration with Tofu plan. Okay. Rundeck job and Rundeck project. Okay. 2 resources are going to be created. We don't have any project here. Okay, I'm going to apply this again. We can check out the plan here. This is the plan. I'm okay with this. Do you want to perform these actions? Oh, let me check if the output of Tofu changed since the last time. OpenTofu, use the selected providers. No, all looks like the same. OpenTofu will perform. plan. OpenTofu will perform the actions described above. Yes. It's creating. Okay. 2 resources added. So I'm going to refresh here. Okay, I have it here. This is my first Rundeck project. Let's check out this. My first Rundeck project. This is the label, what we are seeing here. And down here, the description. If I enter here, at the left, I'm going to find this tab for jobs, where I will have this job. Bounce all words web services. Oh, web servers. Sorry, I misread that. Okay. Let me check if state operations are looking good. So Tofu state list. Okay, we are managing these 2 services. Let's see what it's inside this. And R1, let's say that this is going to be Tofu state show. Great. So this is the code. This is the HCL code which describe these 2 resources that we are managing with Tofu. So I'm good with this. Let me check if there is. Oh, look at that. It has an permanent div here. We'll have to check this later, but it looks like adding a. Look at this. Is this expected? Let's try this. Maybe we have. I'm going to validate that this is not a Terraform issue, but a Tofu issue. It's a good opportunity for that. I'm going to destroy this. Tofu, destroy our proof. Okay, it destroyed them all. A second. Oh, what is this? Give me a second. Why you can't see? I haven't noticed this. Now I see. Oh, sorry about this. But I wasn't sharing the screen previously. So you just okay. Let's do this again. Why not? Again, the process to install Tofu is to go to the release page, which is I can't find it, but it will be better to just share it with you again. Okay, this is the release page for latest OpenTofu version. With this, you will have to download the corresponding binary for your computer's architecture. In my case, because I'm using Series M Mac, I'm going to download OpenTofu, this Darwin ARM 64. I already downloaded. I have it here in my download folder, which is this one, and I unzipped it previously when I wasn't showing my screen, and just for the sake of the demo, I previously just sim linked the binary to my GoPath binaries, and after that, I was able to just say tofu version, and it just worked because this is already on my path. Because of that, I can access to the tofu binary without any issue, and I don't have to do any other operation. So with this, I will have access to tofu. Which tofu? I can now use tofu. And about Rundeck, going to stop it real quick. From Package Cloud, you will be able to download the WAR file for latest version of Rundeck, which is this. So just hitting the download button, you will be able to access this file. You will have to place it on some in a folder of your preference, but it's very important that you don't keep this Rundeck file, this WAR file, like in the downloads file, in the downloads folder, because each time Rundeck runs will create a lot of folders for things Rundeck tracks and needs to be executed. So I recommend you to create a specific folder for you to don't have like a mess of files and folders in your downloads folder. So as I said, one of the requirements for using Rundeck is to have Java 11. I'm using OpenJDK. This is a good opportunity to just to show you that it also works with OpenJDK. And having the minimum requirement, which is just Java 11, you can change directory into the folder where you have where you place the Rundeck WAR file, and enter Java -jar Rundeck, and after that Rundeck will start running, and you will see a lot of outputs, but the output that you expect to see in order to know that Rundeck is being executed correctly is the output, an output showing your local, pointing to your local host with a port, and that will be the place where Rundeck will be listening for the API calls to do all its magic. And in our case, is this localhost 4440, which is this. When you enter here, localhost 4440, login prompt will be shown, and to enter here, because we are using Rundeck with the default settings, the default user and password will be admin. With this, you will be able to enter to the Rundeck console, and to execute all the Rundeck provider, or to create all the Rundeck provider resources, you won't need of an Rundeck license. I'm using a Rundeck license because I'm testing the jobs and the Rundeck features. But for creating any of these resources and in the list, you don't need a license. You can just interact with the provider without one. So switching to the project where I have the Terraform configuration, I'm going to enter to the demo file, and this is an example file where where I have run the configuration, a very simple one, a very simple and straightforward that will only create run the project, and we'll attach this Rundeck job to it. And to configure the Rundeck Terraform provider, you will need the URL of the Rundeck instance, which in our case is this, the same one for the Rundeck console. This one, localhost colon 4440, API version. I'm using 45, but if you want to know the API version of the Rundeck instance, you have to enter here and look for system report. Here on system report, you will notice that Rundeck, or this instance of Rundeck, is running the API version 45. So with this, you set the API version, you pass in the out token, and to generate the out token, this is something that I didn't mention before, but you will have to move to profile, and yes, again, let's go to the root. On this icon here, top right, you can enter to profile menu, and here on user API tokens, you can create new tokens. And with this, you will be displayed with the credentials and the token. You will download it and save it in a safe place, and you can pass in the token here like as you usually do, in an environment variable, hard-coded, whatever you want. But the recommended way is at least not hard-coding your API tokens in your Terraform code. So having this and having Tofu, I can now enter Tofu plan, and I will be able to check the plan that it's going to create two resources, which are going to be the job and the project. If I later enter Tofu apply, with Tofu apply again, I will be able to check the plan again and to confirm. Yes, Tofu made its job. It create two resources on the Rundeck instance. And to check this again, now I have my first Rundeck project. Let's confirm that it's the same configuration. Yes, what I'm seeing here is the project label, and down here the description, which is this one. If I enter here and switch to the jobs tab, I'll be able to confirm that the job name bounce all web servers, it's already there. So I'm going to destroy this with Tofu destroy. and say yes. It destroyed them all. Now I don't have neither the project nor the job. I don't have any projects here. But now we are on the on the page where I realized that I wasn't sharing my screen. That's embarrassing, but it's this kind of things happens. So what I noticed. Oh, let's replicate again the issue with tofu applied auto approve. Okay, I created the two resources, and look at this tofu plan. Okay, if I enter again tofu plan, and notice here a permanent div with the project label, but I don't know if this is an issue with the way in which this is written, or maybe something introduced by tofu. Let me do an experiment here. Where it was? Oh, it was here. No, where it was? Yeah, here. Going to replace this with an slash because it says that it's going to add project that label, but project slash label, it's null. Let's apply this. Tofu apply auto approve. No changes. Look at that. It is definitely tofu plan. There is something. Oh, look at that. Maybe this is because I'm not an expert on Rundeck. Maybe this is something where I just made a typo, but the API it's capable to know that I want to set the label. I don't know. To be honest, I will have to check that out later to understand why that happened. But if I switch to Rundeck project, the example says project that label and extra config optional. Behind the scenes, run the project is literally an arbitrary set of key value pairs. Okay. These map arguments allows to set any configuration perfectly properly. Okay. But due to limitation of Terraform, the key names must be written wrapped in, okay, double quotes. Do not use this argument to set properties that the above argument set. Be careful. I will have to research further into this to understand why. If I change this by an slash, it worked, or why did I expect to be an slash, but if I set it to a dot, it just works. That's weird, but well, we'll have to check that out later. Okay, so setting this to an slash, we won't have the permanent div. It's okay. I thought that it was something related with maybe using tofu. It will be like odd, but I just wanted to confirm it. So I'm going to destroy all this, destroy auto approve, destroy all. I don't have anything here. So with this, we have test that Rundeck Terraform provider works very good with Tofu, and that Tofu it's able to manage Terraform configurations for PagerDuty and Rundeck providers. That's very exciting. This only confirms that the statement uh, given by OpenTofu organization it's true, and OpenTofu can interoperate with Terraform configurations without having to do any changes at all. So this will be it for today. I expect to bring you more examples and use cases of Rundeck along PagerDuty on next Terraform Time episodes. But right now, um, before ending the stream, I would like to again do some housekeeping stuff, making the quick reminder that on January we are going to have our Terraform Roundtable. It will be the first of 2024, and the Terraform Time is being streamed every Wednesday at 4 p.m. and 1 p.m. Pacific Time. So I hope to see you on next Terraform Time.